I know you've talked about this before, but if you could summarize for us this transition for you from being a man of the left to being much more iconoclastic, associated in many regards with the right. How does that transition take place?
Yeah, well, first off, I should tell you, I don't mind being called part of the right at this point. I think there's something so broadly interesting happening on the right. I think there's such a wide tent right now of, say, more libertarian people. That's where I would include myself, more traditional religious conservatives. I see, there's Trump people, there's sort of regular conservatives. There's something very cool. There's a lot of disaffected liberals kind of moving rightward. So the thing on the right is just super interesting to me because there's ability to agree to disagree. There's honest discussion about like where do rights come from and how are we going to move this country forward. And there's like some really cool stuff happening on the right. On the left, it's just become scorched earth. It's like, you're a socialist, you're one of us, you believe in identity politics, or you're out and we're going to destroy you. So there's a huge movement happening here. Sometimes it can be hard to quantify because, between algorithms and the way big tech is manipulating us and mainstream media, calling half the country racist and now diseased all the time, it can be a little hard to see, but I really think something cool is happening. As far as the shift for me, it's interesting because I was a lefty. I was a Bernie supporter in originally in 2016. You can see it. I did not vote for Trump first time around. It's funny, people will find videos of me supporting Bernie and they'll be like, see, what a hypocrite. And I'm like, no, that's the point. I woke up after that, right? But really what was happening was everyone that I was surrounded by on the left, and I was on the Young Turks at the time, was just endlessly screaming that everybody else was a racist and a bigot and a homophobe and all the stuff that, we all get called now. And at one point, it just stopped working. Like the math equation did not work for me. It was just like, this is way too easy. This cannot be right. First off, I don't think you guys are that bright or thoughtful or interesting, but it's like the people that you're always railing against, they can't be as evil. It just can't be that they're so blind and you are so wise. It doesn't work. And then, as I started talking about that, suddenly there were an awful lot of people that were like, Dave, I'm kind of seeing that too. Something's not right here. And then I started talking about the difference between being a leftist and, a classical liberal. And just more and more people kind of started seeing that. And then really the next step was I started talking to some of these scary conservatives, these people that I had been told were bigots and racists, like, Ben Shapiro and Larry Elder and Dennis Prager and Glenn Beck and Tucker Carlson. And I found them to be thoughtful and interesting and decent. And although I had some and still have some political disagreements with them, it's like, we all want to live in the same country. That's what I'm talking about with this new thing on the right. It's like, we actually want to live in a country with some disagreement, with some people that are different from us. They don't. And that is why I will keep going to where there is room to build things rather than the place where there's just scorched earth and nothing left.